right, continuing this Dreamlike of oceans, we are starting with fire, or next with fire. Got Ursula, 2 costs, 5k forward from 4, Princess Monk. When Ursula enters the field, you may pay 1 fire CP. When you do so, choose a forward, deal it 4k. When she enters the field, it's the same effect twice. So you can deal 8k. And then at damage 3, if she deals damage to a forward, the damage is increased by 1,000. So 5k at damage 3. Sorry, I mean Ursula is typically Earth, so fire. I'm kind of confused on that, but hey, the more you can substitute and add more damage to things, fire, Earth, strictly fire, it's all gravy. I mean, essentially it makes it cost 4, but you could typically get rid of 2 things possibly, or just 1 big thing. Or you don't have to use this at all. So yeah, there's that. Arden. He is a 15 character, Chief Minister job, 4 drop, 9k forward. At the beginning of the main phase 1, during each player's turn, if that player doesn't put 1 character they control into the break zone, Arden deals that player a point of damage. Arden deals damage to a player, double the damage instead. Dang. Okay. So this card's stupid. So essentially, if this bad boy, if you play this first, if you go first, you play this, you do your opponent damage. If they don't put a character in the break zone, obviously they're not gonna have a character because they're going second. Then you can avoid this, do yourself opponent damage until you get to damage 3. And essentially they either take 2 points of damage on their another point of damage on their second turn, or get rid of the card they just played, or cards they just played, 1 card. So this card is insane, man. Like this card is gonna put people on a timer, especially if you're playing something like Final Fantasy 13, where you can deal 3-4 points of damage on the first turn, and then you play this at the end of the turn, and then they're like, all right, can't say game 2 because we don't have game 2s, but this card definitely helps 13 a lot, and I think it helps a lot of decks that need to push damage, because it doesn't have a threshold. It's kind of limitless, and I mean, you can use this to your advantage to get rid of cards that you don't want to have on the field to play something else. So this card is insane. Garland, 5 cost, 9k forward, is a knight from Final Fantasy 1. When he enters the field, deal 7k to all forwards of cost 2 or less your opponent controls. Okay. It's alright. I mean, that's a lot, but whatever. I mean, I don't really. It's a knight, so I mean, yeah. Guy, 2 costs, 5k forward from 2, warrior rebel. When he enters the field, choose 1 job warrior or rebel forward other than himself in the break zone. Add it to your hand. If the card added is not category 2, discard 1 card. This is good in warriors, because if you got a bunch of cards, you can just discard whatever you don't want to get back a Mog or something like that. So this is all in all, this is pretty good. No complaints from me. I think this is pretty solid. Gunbreaker, 7k, 3 costs forward, standard unit 14. When it enters the field, you may pay a crystal. When you do so, choose a forward, deal it 8k. Pretty straightforward. Blow something up, have a blocker, potential attacker. You can play as many of these as you want, 3. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Clavat, 2 costs, backup, standing unit, FFCC. When it enters the field, gain a crystal. Pay 1 fire CP, duller, put it in the break, gain a crystal. Same as the Earth one. Pretty good crystal generator. Cloud, EX Burst, 4 cost 6k. Strife Delivery Service is the job from 7. When he enters the field, choose one category 7 character other than Cloud in your break zone, add it to your hand, gain a crystal. Dull him to select 1 or 2 abilities. Choose one category 7 forward, it gains 2k to the end of the turn, gain a crystal. I wish this was a backup so you didn't have to worry about them blowing it up. But I'm kind of glad it's a forward because it's like a forward that if you're trying to get crystals, they would probably get rid of. But at the same time, it's like it can attack or give something 2k if it needs to. So I think this is fine. That art's insane, but that job's hilarious. Amarant, 3 costs, 9k forward, fighter from 9. When it enters the field, choose a forward, deal it 7k. When it enters the field, if you don't control a 9 forward other than himself, discard a card. Excuse me. Typically, Amarant has some weird effect like that where he has to do something like that or he just costs so much. This one's pretty decent. Deal 7k to something, and as long as you have another 9 forward on the field, you're pretty solid. And 9k at a 3 cost is pretty good. So I think this is solid considering the 9 deck that's coming. Jacked EX Burst, 2 costs, backup, Guardian from 10. When it enters the field, choose 1 forward. If your opponent controls 3 or more forwards, deal it 8k. Pretty straightforward. Deals 8k to something as long as they have 3 or more forwards. Board mitigation, field mitigation. And it's in 10, so I mean they have a fire backup now that they can make. So Riku's not the only one doing multi-elements. So you could have water, fire, and wind now. So that's not too shabby. And earth too, I believe. Jack Garland, stranger, 4 costs, backup, SOPFFO, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy. Jack Garland is also Garland in all situations. When Jack Garland enters the field, choose 1 forward, deal it 8k. When a forward enters your opponent's field other than from your hand, you can put Jack Garland into the break zone. When you do so, deal that forward 9k. So this gets rid of limit breaks, things like that. Probably be really good in stuff like Warriors where you don't want to really expend resources. You just play something like this, blow up a forward on entry, and then if they try to get rowdy and play something from anywhere other than their hand, chapow! Alright, Cecil is a 4 cost forward of 8k. From 4, he is a paladin. When he enters the field, if you have a card named Cecil with job Dark Knight in your break zone, draw a card. When a forward you control is put from the field into the break zone, choose 1 forward your opponent controls, deal it 7k. This is good. This is really good. Because it's like now they have to get rid of him or keep suffering the consequences. And then if you have stuff that can blow itself up that are forwards, then you can essentially attack. They don't block, blow up the forward, deal 7k. This is really, really good. And it's in fire, so you have stuff that increases the potency of stuff. So you can make him, I think, 8-9k per ping. So really good, nice art. It's kind of funny that the moon's behind him because he's the paladin, so technically it should be a sun, but I like that art. I like the attention to detail. Warrior. It's a 2-drop backup. Standing unit 14. Dull it. Put into the break zone. Choose 1 forward. Deal it 7k. You can only use this if you have 5 forwards. 5 or more. It is what it is. It's good when you need it and cheap to play it. Tifa. She's a martial artist from 7. 3 costs, 7,000 forward. She has Brave. When she enters the field, choose 1 forward your opponent controls. Deal it 4k for each 7 forward you control. 2 crystals is the action ability. Until the end of the turn, Tifa gains 2k power, haste, and Tifa can attack twice this turn. So this is where the cloud crystal generation comes in. So this is really nice. And she's pretty cheap. But if you're playing Zangan, she can attack anyway. So it's really just to attack twice. And Zangan searches her. So I think Zangan gives her haste. I believe. The fire one? I don't remember. Either way. Sexy card, great art, great effect, great ability. 10 out of 10. Rogue Tomato. 2 costs. Mandragora. Moogle board game. 6k if it becomes a forward. Alright, 2 action abilities. First one, dull it, choose one forward, deal it 4k. You can only use this ability if you don't control any forwards. Second one, no cost. Until the end of the turn, he becomes a 6k forward. You can only use this ability once per turn. Alright, we got the Freddy Krueger sweater on. Yeah, I like the little tomato. Little tomato. Barrett. Ooh, he's a warrior. 7 costs. From 7. 9,000 power hero. When he enters the field, choose one forward and up to one other forward. Deal the former 9k and the latter 7k. 1 forward your opponent controls is put into the break zone. Gain a crystal. Woo! Focus shot. Cost him fire CP and dulling him. Choose up to 2 forwards. Divide 10,000 damage among them as you like. All right, so he trying to be like Yuffie. I mean, this is pretty good because this is constant crystal generation, and he's 7, so you can't cloud him. He's 9, so you can Amaterasu him if you want, but on typically on entry he's blown up 2 things, and he's a warrior, so guy gets him back. You got stuff like Volker that can make him cheaper, Tyvus that he can't play him for free, but he's a warrior, so he can search him, I believe. So yeah, they should not have made this a warrior, because warriors don't need any more help. But I'm glad I paid attention to that now, because 93 Vivy. 4 cost 5,000 forward. Black Mage from 9. When he enters the field, choose any number of forwards your opponent controls. Divide 7k among them as you like. If you control another non-forward other than Vivi if you're nasty, divide 10k among them instead. Units must be 1,000. Then a special ability. Action ability is 1 fire and 1 water CP. Dull him, choose a forward, deal a 9k. This is good. This is really good. This is really good in 9, and then it's really good in not 9. Because if you're playing fire, water, anything that can generate water in your mono fire deck, this is just constantly hitting something for 9k every turn. And if they can't stop it, they gonna catch them hands. So this VV is nice. I know a guy, he calls this crayon art, but I'm really starting to dig this, whatever type of art this is. Furion. 2 cost 5k forward, warrior rebel from 2. Has haste. If you control another 2 character, he gains 2k. So he's just a haster with 5k. So really good. I'd put him in a warrior deck, and I'd also put him in a 13 deck because he's cheap, he haste, and what's not to like? Furion's typically pretty good. Brunhilde. 2 cost summon from 13. Select 2 of the following actions. Up to 2 of the following actions. If you pick 2, pay a crystal, an extra crystal for the cost. First one, choose 1 forward, deal it 5k. If it's a multi-element, deal it 10. Or choose 1 monster, break it. So typically you're only going to be using 1 or 2 of these. One of the 2 of these. Very rarely will you be using both. But this does add more Brunhildes to the Brunhilde family. But this one is good. I mean, like I said, I think all of them. And I'm a 13 fan, so you already know I'm gonna have to get 3 of these foil, 3 of these non-foil. So holla at your boy if you got me. You feel it? Alright, and the last fire is Brute Bomber. It is a forward with 9k that costs 3 from 14 and Arcadian Fighter. When Brute Bomber enters the field, each player selects 1 forward they control. Deal it 9k. At damage 3, if Brute Bomber is dealt damage by abilities, reduce the damage by 2k. So, if you have something that can't be broken by damage, like Leo, deal the damage to Leo, then break something of theirs. This is really good, especially if you blow up something that gets an effect on it being blown up. Like Cecil, you know, you blow up something and Cecil deals another 7k to something. So keep that in mind. But this has been the Fires. These have been my opinions. Let's move on to Ice. If you didn't know, now you do.